Welcome to part five, kinda, of the South Bend Shaper restoration. So I purchased this machine from the basement shop guy, Brad Jacobs, and drove up to Pennsylvania from Maryland to pick it up a few months ago, and wanted to focus on continuing this restoration. Brad had a great run with his machine shop, and he's gotten really busy, which is wonderful for him, and he hasn't had much time to focus on his machines and restoration like he started out his YouTube channel doing. So picked up the machine after we connected on a Facebook group for South Bend Machinery and wanted to kind of continue this process of doing a full restoration on it. It was completely in pieces when I purchased it. He had gone through and really done all the hard work for me. Everything was clean for the most part. And really ready to bring to paint. So got the machine down here to my house and got everything ready to start painting. Took a lot of the pieces here you can see and just started to mask them and get them ready for paint. And started off with a coat of primer. I used the Rust-Oleum heavy metal primer, heavy rusty metal primer, I guess. Some places online say that you can't use it with clean metal, but I've never had any issues with it. It's done fairly well on all the other machinery that I've restored and painted thus far. So I do spray this with a HVLP spray gun, one of the little cheapy $15 Harbor Freight. I think they're purple. You need an air compressor to use them, but they work really great for this sort of thing. They're kind of a good in between of a decent coating and finish, and you don't have to worry about you know the lines from a roller or using a paintbrush getting into places. A little bit of setup to do them. You do have to thin it down. I do use acetone because it really works well and helps the parts to dry in a quick fashion. So this here is really just a video of me going through and doing a really quick job of trying to paint the parts, get them all primed anyway. This is the first step before I will run them through and actually paint them South Bend gray. I've got to get some more paint. The paint that I originally had is gone bad, so I've got to order some more. So until I get them, it will be a little bit of time uh, until I can do that. Hopefully, as I do the assembly of the machine, I'll have a little more detailed video with me actually talking while I'm doing the work here, as opposed to this high-speed sped up video. But this was a lot of rather mundane work, watching paint dry, for lack of a better description. So yeah, it's really just kind of the process, next steps that Brad would have taken on this machine if he had it. Hopefully, I'll have a good luck getting it together. So the one of the main parts that was still painted, you see the green paint here, was the original base cabinet. So I ran it through, did a lot of paint stripping on it. You'll see me kind of wheel it off to the side. I didn't really take a lot of video of me actually stripping the paint off. Not a very exciting process, but did get that done. Had to do a little welding on this cabinet. A few things were broken. I noted the front drawers, a couple of them had broken welds on them. And originally, this shaper was set up for the low voltage controls, which had a large electrical box that was on the side. all of that is missing or was missing when I bought it. So I've opted to just fill in the holes. I've welded the holes closed and grounded down. So it, for really, for lack of a better description, will look like nothing was ever there. Um, Nice thing was Brad was able to find the original electrical boxes for it, which was great. So I can use those original controls. I did have to do a little work on the base. Brad had gotten a little farther along on this one. He was running some Bondo on all the surfaces and really smoothing out the casting, getting rid of all the casting finish. Me personally, and sorry, Brad, for doing this, but I like the look of a rough casting. That's just kind of the way the metal looks personally. I like that. So here I am. I'm using a wire wheel on an angle grinder. All the parts had a little surface flash rust that needed to be removed anyway. So running that through and taking off a lot of the Bondo on this part to get it back to the original cast finish. Again, getting it ready to paint, do all the masking, get everything kind of prepped up and ready for primer. The big things I have left to do now after the primer cures for about a week or two, depending on the weather here, is to bring these back out and paint them all with one or two coats of South Bend gray paint. I've been using a Sherwin-Williams oil mixed paint. It's becoming harder and harder to find, and at some point I'll put up a video with the painting of those, and we'll share the paint color codes that I've used. Um, it increasingly many states are not really selling the oil-based paint anymore, so it's going to be hard to find in the future, which is unfortunate for small projects like this. I did end up purchasing a few extra motor parts. Some of the motor covers and the motor frame were missing, so I found a friend that had a motor they pulled off of a machine they weren't using anymore and happened to be the exact same size motor. So I purchased the motor from them. They shipped it up to me, and it was a great fit. So I've got the parts and pieces for that that I'll be painting along with this, and we'll be getting it back together and in no time. So I did bring back some of the pieces to do a second coat of primer on them. You can see here, especially the belt guards and covers, because they were so large and there were so many vents in them. I ended up flipping a lot of them over to do a second coat on them and get them really coated well. There were a couple of bare spots on the bottoms where I was directly underneath and wasn't really able to prime before. Really was using up the remainder of the primer that I had, but having an extra base of primer, second coat of primer on these really it won't hurt anything. It'll certainly make sure that the paint sticks well once I do apply that in. So yeah, all these parts are sitting and drying in their new home here in my house in Maryland. Hopefully, I'll have more to come as I get this machine put together. So something neat too that I found, I went to the Grizzly website, and you can actually order the South Bend lathe cards for all their machinery. They ended up finding the one for my machine in particular, which was really neat. So I got the original manufacturer data card for it. I'll show you a photo of that as well. Um, so it's kind of a neat find, neat thing to see for the machine that you could actually get that. And they're more common for the lathes, and the folks at Grizzly weren't even sure if they had it or not, but Turns out they did. So I bought that from them, which was pretty cool. Thanks for watching.